This is just an FYI. This video is gonna be very emotional for me. Hey guys, what's poppin'? It's your girl Team Stacy, and I'm back with another YouTube video. And if you are new to my channel, hello. But if you're a returning subscriber, what's up, my girl?
Only been a few hours, but it felt like days. Only been days, but it felt like months. Been gone for a year only.
Today is my birthday. So today is my 25th birthday. Oh my gosh, guys, I feel like I'm getting so much older. It's a big birthday for me, and I'm just so grateful to be here for another year. And I just decided to like turn my camera on because I'm actually about to start getting ready. Sorry, I'm like answering DMs and stuff, but I decided to get ready to take myself out. Today I'm going to be going out to eat by myself, and I just really wanted to like talk to you guys because whoever's watching this video, one, you might just be watching because it's me and you love me, or you could be watching because you are going through stuff in life, whatever the case may be. So let's just get into the video. I've been avoiding doing like a life update with you guys, and I really think that I should because it will make a lot of sense to how I've been and why I feel the way I feel. And it's like, why do that on your birthday? But it's just like I even feel it more today, you know what I mean? So it's just like, why not share? I don't know where to start. I feel like I've been avoiding this life update video because it's like it's one of those things where it's like you don't want to talk about it. I know I'm gonna cry in this video. It's one of those things that you kind of don't want to talk about because you don't want to acknowledge the truth in it. And like when you talk about stuff like this, especially like in my head, I just feel like I have my real life and then I have my social media life, right? And I feel like my real life, I can't control it. It just like, you know, it's happening for me. But social media, it's kind of like you can curate it and you can control it. So I always felt like if I came on here and really express what I'm going through, it would get too real. I don't know, and it would just make it like reality in my second life. I don't know. But back in like around August, around August, life was pretty good for me. It was pretty normal. I always felt like a very lucky person. I always felt extra blessed, extra lucky. I've always felt like that since a kid. I've always like looked at like people around me and I just seen like what they went through, and I just felt like I don't go through stuff like that, or when I do, it's just like I feel like God granted me with like the capacity to like be able to handle it better and differently. So I always just felt like very lucky, and I always would say how I'm so grateful for just my life and like my family and just, you know, things like that. So everything was perfectly fine. My mom's birthday is August 6th. For August, you guys seen it, I went to Key West. If you guys didn't watch that video, you guys can after this one. But I went to Key West. Everything was fine. I had my cousin come to my house. She watched Simba for me, which is my dog. She watched Simba for me, and the trip was great. Came back. I was so glad to be back with my baby Simba. Everything was just great. This was like August 20th. My friend, I went to meet her, Ellie. Shout out to Ellie. I went to go meet Ellie. We were just catching up, talking. Everything was great. Everything was fine. That night, I was about to go home, but then I stopped by my friend Sinead's house. Hey, girl. I stopped by her house, and then, you know, I just hung out with her. And then after that, I fell asleep at her house. That morning, we went to work. Then we went to lunch before I went back home. And we go to lunch, and we are just talking, and she's talking. She was like going through stuff. We're just all talking. Well, me and her were just talking, and I remember, I'll never forget, she asked me, she was like, what do you feel? Like, how are you feeling? Mind you, nothing has gone on in my life for me to feel how I felt, but I get like this sometimes. I was just like, I don't know, I just feel sad, and I didn't know why. Like, I didn't know why I felt sad. I just felt like that. And I was just like, but I thought, because I'm very empathetic, I thought I was just feeling her feelings in that moment. So fast forward, I get to my house and I take a nap, and I wake up, right? And I slept all day, so I woke up probably like around 8-9 p.m. and my brother calls me, and he's in the Marines, he calls me and he was just like, we're just talking, and he was like, have you talked to dad? And I was just like, no. And he was like, I got this weird voicemail from like somebody. Backstory, my dad's a truck driver, so he's like always on the road, always like driving through state to state. So I was like, oh, let me listen to the voicemail. And the voicemail was just somebody asking for like a family member or a relative of my dad. And I was just like, I felt so uneasy when I heard that voicemail. And I'm like, oh, that doesn't sound right. Like, if they need my dad, why would they not call my dad? Like, why are they looking for someone that knows my dad? So I started to like panic and I started to get really stressed out. But my brother was like, oh, it's probably nothing. And I was just like, okay. So we just go on talking, and then I just blurt out again in the middle of him talking, and I'm like, I don't know, something doesn't feel right. I know you probably think I'm crazy, but please call mommy. Like, so we call my mom and we tell her about the voicemail. And mind you, it's still late, so she was just like, she was kind of sleepy, but she was just like, I don't think it's anything, like, don't worry yourselves, like, it's fine. So we get off the phone with my mom. I'm still on the phone with my brother. I can't let this go. Like, everybody is just like, it's nothing, like, it's fine. But for me, it didn't feel like that. So I'm on Google, I'm Googling the number that called. I'm like typing his name in, seeing if he got arrested. Like, my dad's never been to jail, but I'm like, do I need to call hospitals? Like, I'm freaking out. And my brother was just like, go to bed. He'll probably call you in the morning. So I got off the phone with my brother, and I am like texting my dad, calling my dad, blowing up his phone like, call me when you get this, like, just checking on you, call me ASAP, it's emergency, like, I just need him to call me. And one thing about my dad is like, he always answers my phone calls. Like, it could be 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, he could be napping, he could be sleeping, he could be anything, he's gonna answer that phone. So I felt like something was off, but I'm like, listen, he's probably sleeping, like, don't worry yourself. That night, y'all, I could not sleep. Like, I could not sleep whatsoever. But that night I just had to sleep with the light on because I was so scared. It took me so long to fall asleep. And Simba came to lay next to me, and he just like cuddled with me the whole night. Like, and Simba is like an older dog, so he likes to be off doing his own thing. He would go lay on the couch, lay in the living room, like go lay on the different side of the bed, at the edge of the bed. Like, he had a bed in the house. Like, he would just be everywhere. But that night, from when I fell asleep to when I woke up, he was right next to me. And I also felt like he was like trying to comfort me. And so that morning I woke up early because I had a workout that morning. I woke up really early. I had such negative thoughts that morning when I was in the shower. Guys, like, this is just the FYI. This video is going to be very emotional for me. But I remember taking a shower before I went to the gym, and I had the most negative thoughts. My mind was spiraling, and I just remember saying a prayer because I was like trying to relax myself, and I didn't want to like manifest anything negative, because at this point I woke up and my dad still didn't call me back. So I'm like freaking out, but I'm like, I don't know. So after I get out the shower, go downstairs because now I'm about to get ready to leave for the gym. I'm downstairs and I'm like calling my dad again, and I'm texting him again. Good morning, top of the morning. Good morning. Calling him again. Like, and at this point, I don't like to blow people's phones up because I think that's very annoying. But at this point, I'd rather be annoying and know that you're okay than me calling once or twice and then that's it. So I'm blowing his phone up. Good morning. He still doesn't call me. What's going on? Calling him, nothing. So now it's super early. I'm like, I have to call my mom. So I call my mom, and I'm trying to play it cool because like I'm like so anxious right now. And I call her and I'm just like, hey, good morning. I'm trying to play cool, and I'm like, good morning, like, and she's just like, what's up? Like, she's super tired. And I just blurt out again. I'm like, my dad still hasn't answered me. He hasn't called me back, and I'm getting worried. And she was just like, okay, I'll call him for you. Like, she doesn't think it's anything, but I'll call him for you. So I felt relief. Mind you, that day I had a client because I'm a makeup artist. So I was going to go to the workout. I was going to do my client, and then I was going to, if he didn't call then, that's when I told myself, then you can like freak out. But in this meantime, no. So I go to the workout, and I get in and I start the workout, and I'm feeling good. Everything's fine. Everything's going good. and my cousin calls me. I answered because when I got bad news when my grandma passed away, it was my cousin that called me because we're very close. So I answered, and when she called and she was just like, hey, what are you doing? And I'm just like, I'm working out. And she's like, oh, okay, I'm at Starbucks just checking on you. And I was just like, okay, I felt kind of relieved because I'm like, okay, if she didn't tell me anything, then it's probably nothing. So then I go finish my workout, and then my mom calls me. So now I'm like, I'm fine. I'm into the workout. I'm like, whatever. And my mom calls, and I didn't even let her say hello or anything. I was just like, hey mom, I'm at a workout. I'm gonna call you in like 10 minutes. I'm about to leave. And I just heard her crying on the other side of the phone. And in that moment, I swear to you, my whole entire world changed. I knew from that moment, like, nothing would ever be the same. Everything changed. She didn't have to say anything. I just knew from that cry on the call what it was. So I ended up leaving the gym, and I hate how I left the gym. It's human because I was very reactive. This is my dad. But I left, and like the trainers didn't know what to do because I'm just like freaking out, and I end up just leaving the gym. I get to my car, and I still haven't got like any confirmation, but I just know from that cry, and my mom just told me come to the house. So I'm shaking. I literally felt like I was gonna throw up. I am like screaming, I'm crying. Because it's like I still hadn't got the confirmation yet, but it's like I'm like a few words away from my life officially changing. So it's like I'm like just losing it. And I end up calling my friend Stacie. I'm just calling, like crying and screaming. And I felt so bad to call her like that because I know that's so traumatic too. It's just like you don't know what to do in a situation. So she ends up like, I'm like, I don't know, something's going on with my dad. Like I knew something was wrong. Like I don't know. Like I'm just crying. And she's like, I'm gonna come get you and I'll take you to your mom's house because I really couldn't drive. So then I guess like because she lived kind of far from me, so she was like driving to me. And I guess I did take a kind of a long time to get to my mom's house, and she just ended up like calling all of us on a phone call, and she broke the news. She was like, your father passed away. Like that's officially where it's like the world spins on like a certain axis, and it's like my world just got shifted. It got shifted, and I just felt like everything changed. The way air felt to my skin changed. The way I breathe changed. The way the colors of the trees changed. Everything around me changed. And my friend finally got to me, and we got to my mom's house, and it was just like, it was just crazy. It was madness, guys. It was like a lot. It was a lot. And it was really life-changing. So for those couple of weeks, I had to stay at my mom's house. I didn't want to stay home alone, and I just didn't like, I don't know, it was just a lot. So I ended up taking my dog with me to my mom's house, and I stayed there while we were like getting arrangements together. And while I was like getting the arrangements together, Simba was just acting like so tired, so weird, and I was just like, but I'm like going through grief right now, so like I didn't really know what was happening with him, but I was just like, okay, like I'm gonna handle this, but like I need to handle this, like funeral arrangements and stuff. So as the days progress, we're trying to get stuff finished and done. You know, my brother's in the Marines, so we're on a time frame, and it was so much going on. I noticed Simba was like getting worse with how he was acting, and I kind of never really noticed that from him before. So I was like, I'm noticing it, but I'm like trying to see if like he'll be okay, like we'll figure this out. And now we had our funeral dates and everything for my dad, and now this was the day of the viewing for my father, the day before the funeral. And I looked at Simba, and I'm like, no, my dog looks really bad. Like he just looks so sick, so tired. He wasn't eating anymore. He was losing weight. It just didn't look good. So, and mind you, we're not at my apartment. We're at my mom's house. So I don't know if he ate something he wasn't supposed to when I'm at the funeral home doing all this type of stuff. So I take him to the vet and I let them know all his symptoms. This is the day before my dad's, this actually, no, not the day, yeah, this is the day before the funeral. So this is the viewing. So I'm about to go see my dad, but this is the viewing. So early morning, I take him to the doctor. The first doctor he went to was his original doctor's office. And she was like, I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't look so good, but she doesn't have the equipment to do what he needs to do. So she just gave him an IV because he was so dehydrated. And she was like, I'm gonna send you here. I'm not even gonna charge you. And when she didn't charge me, I felt like fear because I was like, ooh, like I hope it's not that bad. So we go to another doctor and that she recommended us to go to. And we get there, I paid for that one, and the doctor was like, the first doctor wanted you to get an x-ray, but we really want to do like a ultrasound to see if he ate something foreign, like just to see what's going on in his body. But he was saying he didn't have the proper tools either. So then he sends me to another doctor's office. So we go to that doctor's office and they have the tools. And they were like, we're going to do an ultrasound to see what's going on, see if he had ate a foreign object or anything, you know, see why he's acting the way he's acting. They take him to the back room. I'm sitting, I'm waiting, and I'm praying that it's nothing. I'm like so stressed. I'm like in a daze because I know I'm about to see my dad. Like, and it's just like a lot going on. The doctor comes back in and he brings my little baby back in, Simba. And the doctor just like, it's like making me, like I feel like I'm turning pale, like I'm getting cold. He literally like comes in the room and he was like, I never like giving news like this. And he was like, we did the ultrasound and we found tumors. Oh my God, I'm so sorry guys. Like, but he told me that the tumors had spread, and basically the type of cancer that he had, it was a very aggressive cancer and it's called HSA. And basically it's one of those aggressive cancers that it only shows signs during the end stages. So it's not something that shows up and you can like go to take the dog to chemo, do surgery to remove it. It like once it's like spreading and like it's causing havoc in the body, that's when the signs come. And he was just like, your dog is suffering and you need to put your dog down. And I was just so shocked because I'm about to see my dad in a casket today. And now you're telling me I'm also about to walk out of these doors without my dog. I just felt like in such a short time span, my life was just, everything was changing. Like everything that felt normal to me, it just changed. I just felt like it was so rushed there. I was like, I just can't just put my dog down. Like this is just too much. So I left with the dog and I was like, okay, I'm gonna probably get a second opinion. So we end up going to the viewing for my dad, and it was hard because it was like I'm here in a place that I obviously don't want to be, and then I'm also there knowing that my dog is at home and he has like some aggressive cancer where they said they can't even tell me how long he has. Like he could have a few hours to a few days, like or a few weeks, they don't know. So I'm like, oh my God, my dog's at home. Like I hope I don't walk in to like see him passed away. And then I'm here, my dad's here, and it's just like, I really felt like I was crushed under pressure. Like I just felt so crushed. So then that night we leave the viewing and I go home with my sister to take care of Simba, and he was just really sick. So we end up taking him to another emergency room. I didn't tell her his prognosis though because I wanted to get a second opinion. She was like, I'm gonna take him to the back. We're gonna do a ultrasound. She found the same exact things. God bless her. She was like shaking. She didn't want to tell me the news. And like as a doctor, you would think they deal with that a lot. She didn't even want to tell me. She was like, I hate to like say this, but like I'm not gonna lie, like it's not good. It's spread and it's just not good. But she was more understanding that I didn't want to just put him down. So she prescribed him medication basically the point that we were at wasn't like the medication was going to cure the cancer. It was just going to make him comfortable in his last days. So we got the medication, and God bless her. I paid still for the last 2 doctor appointments. I paid so much money, but she gave a huge discount, as much as she could, because she also knew like this is like 3 o'clock in the morning at this point. It was like a 24-hour emergency room for pets. Like in a few hours, I'm getting ready for my dad's funeral, like the burial. It was just, so they really helped. They were giving so many free items, so many numbers to call when I needed help with his final days. So it was just, I really appreciate the people that the service, like, you know, the doctors and nurses that were so kind in that moment. So after that, we only got a few hours of sleep. We ended up going to the funeral for my dad, the burial, and that was a day in itself. It was really hard. I've always been daddy's little girl. Literally, if you go on my dad's Facebook, his banner is a picture of me and him, like for like 10 years. Like I was always pretty close to my dad, so it was definitely traumatic and hard. And then after we buried my dad, the next couple of days, it was still so tragic for me, because it was like, when they gave me my phone call about my dad, it was like abrupt. It was like, here today, gone tomorrow, life changed. But then when I got the news for Simba, it was like this slow burn. It was like this, like a knife being stabbed into your chest slowly with this pressure, and just like, I was like disassociating at points. It was just like so hard, because I'm like watching him. They gave me this packet to read, and it was like an end of life of like signs to look out for. Every single thing. He was so sick. He was no energy, just not the dog I had at all. So then, like 10 days after his prognosis, 10 days after my dad's funeral, around that time, only 10 days after, one night I knew it was really bad. It was every night we went to sleep and we woke up, I was scared Simba wasn't gonna wake up. And I saw him that night, and I was just like, oof, this looks like it's gonna be bad. And I was at this point, I was at the point where I was gonna put him down, and I wanted to do it in my house because he loved to be home with me. But my sister was not in town, so I was trying to wait till she came back. But we went to sleep, and I talked to him. I talked to Simba, and I just told him that, you know, because I could see how much pain he was in. I was like, you know, if you have to go, it's okay. Like, you know, because he was just in so much pain. His breathing started to become labored. It sounded like he couldn't breathe anymore. It was just really bad. So then we went to sleep, and mind you, he was on his medication. So he was taking his medication 3 times a day, and one of the times was like around 4 a.m. I woke up at 4, and I tried to give him a pill, and he didn't want it. And mind you, he wasn't eating regular food anymore. He was eating like chicken and stuff, and I had the chicken with it. He didn't want it at all, and I was like, oh, okay, this is not good. So I was like, you know what, we're gonna go back to sleep, and in an hour, if he, like, I'm gonna try again. Woke up again, and I called his name, and I remember he like looked at me, and then he like just closed his eyes, and then I called his name again, and he didn't respond. And I called him again, and he didn't respond. And I just was like, oh no. And I looked next to him, and I saw like a little pee. And I know that when people pass, sometimes they poop on themselves, they pee, like their body just kind of like relaxes, and like whatever was in there is gonna come out. And I saw this little pee, and I was like, okay. And I got to him, and I grabbed his little paw, and I just checked for a pulse, and it wasn't there. And I was like, he died. I've never been this emotional on social media. It's like crazy, but it's like I really built a family on here, so it's okay. When Simba died, it was a tiny bit of relief, because he was so sick. Like, only if you God forbid you ever have to know what that feels like. But when you see somebody so sick with something terminal, there's a slight part of you that feels relief when they pass, because it hurts to watch them suffer, you know? To see your childhood, your soul dog, that's my soul dog, everybody knows that. I love my dog so much, but he was so energized, he acted so young. Everyone would like just assume he was still a puppy because he was so playful, so loving. To see him switch to being so sick and so tired, and he couldn't, we had to buy diapers and puppy pads. It's like they literally turned into puppies again. And just to see that transition of like playful and happy and fun, and then it just turns into like they can't breathe, they barely walk, you squeak the toy, they don't want to play, they're not eating, they're not going to the bathroom, they can't, you know, I lived in an apartment, so I'm trying to make it to the elevator, couldn't even make it there anymore. And it was just like, I didn't want to suffer, and I know that was just a sign I see. Like, I don't know what pain he was feeling. Guys, that was my life. That was only a few months ago, honestly. So it was really hard, and I just been avoiding like making this video because I don't like to be emotional. This is like the most emotional time of my life, and it's hard. And I think what makes it harder is because I rush myself with this grief that I feel, because it's like I don't like feeling like this, and then I also don't know how to process this, because this is like the first time like losing a parent, and then losing like your soul dog. And then, like I said, that my dad got me my dog because he knew how much I wanted a pit bull at that. Like, I wanted my baby. So it's just like losing them together, I just felt like so overwhelmed. And then it was just like, I don't know, like it was just a lot. And it just got really hard because I feel like, because I appear like I'm okay, and I appear like I'm so resilient, it's like people forget, people that knew and know what I'm going through, they forget what I'm going through. And I had to learn that it's not their fault. You know, life continues for everybody else. But it started to feel like, okay, this person is talking to you about a breakup right now. You're grieving the loss of your dad and your dog. So this means that this person feels like you're okay enough, like, to talk about this, so that in turn in your head you're like, okay, maybe I need to be okay at this point, like maybe I need to. And it's like, it's so crazy, we're having this conversation on my birthday, like I should be so happy, but I'm not. Like, I'm so sad today. I'm so sad because this is my first birthday without me, with little Simba, and he never knew my birthday, because obviously he's like, you know, it's your mom's birthday. Like, I would always play with him like that. Or like, it's my first birthday that I don't have a call from my dad saying, hey baby girl, like, what are you doing for your birthday today? So it just hurts me because I feel so sad about that. And if I'm being transparent, it hurts me because I know that anybody that's my friend or family that's going through this, birthdays are important to me. For all my friends and family, I always try to go the extra mile. Like, I'm gonna do your makeup for you so you can feel pretty. If you say you're not doing nothing, no, we doing something together. Like, I have to do something. Like, that's just me. And I just know that if it was somebody else going through this, I'm not gonna let you sit alone. Like, I'm gonna at least extend the invite to take you somewhere or sit with you somewhere or something. And I really feel like I didn't get that. And I realized you don't have to wait till someone gives that to you. Give it to yourself. You don't have to wait until someone wipes your tears. Wipe your own. You don't have to wait for someone to, you know, genuinely check on you without you having to like say, damn, nobody checking on me. Like, do it for you. And I'm learning that. And that's why, like, it's so late. I was in bed all day today, crippled by sadness. And I felt like the only thing that would have pulled me out, if like a friend or a family member or somebody would have been like, no, Stacie, I'm taking you out. Like, I don't, like, no. Like, I know what you've been through these past couple of months. This your first birthday, going through what you're going through. I'm gonna set something up for you. And I didn't get that. So I have to do that for me. I have to pull myself out. I have to take myself out, because you can't sit around and wait. You can't sit and hope that people are gonna be like, oh, okay, yeah, no, they don't. It's about them right now. And this is about you. And that's why I just really decided before I got ready to take myself out, to sit and talk to you guys and just let you guys know, like, how I feel, so I can get this out, you know? Because there's nobody I'm talking to about this right now, about how I feel, you know? Because no one asked. So it's like, I'm not going to trauma dump right now. You know, everybody thinks I'm so resilient and I'm so strong, and I am, but I'm not at the same time, you know? So I definitely avoided this conversation with you guys for so long, and I'm so glad that I finally like got it off my chest and just got it out, because I feel like now you guys just are in on my life and you know what I'm going through, and you guys are so amazing to me already without knowing this. So it's just like, I'm glad that we're finally going to be on the same page, and you guys are just going to know and understand me more, because my life changed. I'm not the same person a few months ago that turned on this camera that says, hey guys, with this naive, no care in the world, because life was so perfect. Life got really real for me, really real, and it got really dark, and it still gets dark. Today's a perfect example. I didn't think that I would still have days that I'm not getting out of bed, that I'm not eating. It's almost 5 in the afternoon. I haven't eaten anything, nothing, y'all, nothing. I'm just here. And, you know, so I just really wanted to come on and just get you guys updated with my life. It got really crazy, but a bigger update, like not bigger, but besides the tragedies. Sorry guys, my camera got full, but hold on. Is this not a sign? Somebody just brought me flowers. Oh, this is about to make me cry again and again and again and again and again and again. Rochelle, I have to text her. Wishing you an amazing birthday and hope this brightens your day. Love, bro. I'm gonna cry. Hold on, guys. Guys, that just made my day. Like, that guy just knocked on the door and like literally brought me flowers. This was actually my dad's best friend, and she, I don't know, this surprised me, and it just came at such a good time, because I'm just so sad right now, and I just felt so like, I felt down. I really did. So that made me feel so much better, like someone's thinking of you, you know? Now I'm like learning how to process my feelings and my grief, and just, you know, learn how to go about day-to-days. And yeah, you know, it's gonna be a journey, and if you guys want, you know, I can take you guys on it with me. You know, I was thinking about starting more sit-down videos like this where we're just talking, because somebody needs this, you know? Somebody, unfortunately, is gonna need this. So I hope I did not trauma dump too much on you. But that was the life update that I was avoiding. I love you guys. You guys are my family and you guys mean so much to me, and I'm so glad that you guys always choose to just tap in and keep up with me. And I just love each and every single one of you so much. And yeah, I love you guys, and I cannot wait to see you guys in a more cheerful, happy video. But this emotion is real too, so I gotta acknowledge it, and that's okay, because we all get sad, and I think that's so important to come on camera. You know, I hate to be like that girl that like cries on social media, but social media has become this monster that can seem as if everything's perfect, and if yours is not, then but no, it's not true. Life happens, and not every day is perfect, not every, you know, so sometimes we need to see realness. So I love you guys, and I cannot wait to see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.